All right, yo, welcome and welcome back to A Stiff Receipt. Today I have a rant. Before I rant about what happened at Money in the Bank, I want to go back to the previous WrestleMania. Now, after watching the WrestleMania documentary that took them like way longer to put out than originally planned, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was actually better than I expected. But it was very clear that at that time period that the original plan was to have CM Punk and Seth Rollins at Mania. That was the original plan. And then Punk got injured. All right, so then we have that pivot. Then you had to do the other pivot as well with The Rock and all that shit and all that going on, but that's a whole other thing. So then we start this shit with Drew and Punk, this whole feud between them two. Mm-hmm. After the Damian Priest cash shit. So like this is the first thing. So it's like, all right, so Punk and Seth were supposed to be the original WrestleMania card. What the fuck were they gonna do with Priest? Were they gonna have him cash out and take the? I'm assuming more than likely Punk would have won because Seth needed time off for injuries and whatnot. So then were they just going to have Priest come cash in on him? Was that the plan, or were they going to have to just try to figure out something else? So then they have him cash out there on Drew after he beats Seth, and Drew loses the belt. Priest gains the belt. It's like, okay, well, that kind of worked out. They got to use the case in a meaningful way, and it's whatever. Even if like that whole period of time that he had that case, he was just kind of mid, you know? It just didn't really... There wasn't anything about Damian Priest that was exciting.
To be honest with you, anybody that really has the case, it's kind of been... Like, there's some that have been better than others, but a lot of them, it's just been like, Yeah. They've got the case. When they cash it in, I'll care. I'll give a shit about it. But until then, it's like, oh, there's just some guy running around with a green briefcase that says Money in the Bank. Who gives a shit?
My mind says that was like they didn't know what to do, and that's what they went with, given everything that happened.
100%.
And realistically, that worked out okay. WrestleMania, that worked out okay.
Right.
Then we got Clash of the Castle, right?
Right.
So then we have this other problem. It's like, all right, well, we want to give Drew the belt. Let him have his time, because he didn't get when he had the championship, he did it in front of a non-live crowd during COVID, and then his last time they had to screw him out of winning the belt because Roman was still in his reign, so he couldn't win at Clash of the Castle because of that. So we go to Clash of the Castle again. It's like, okay, well, this should be Drew's moment. Like this is like, we're here. He's in his home country. Let's do it. Doesn't happen.
How'd that go? Yeah,
doesn't happen.
No,
Priest gets it. So it's like now it's like, okay, we're in the spot where we want to give Drew needs the belt, but we don't want like we're trying to build up like Priest as this big main event guy. That's a whole other thing. But so we don't want his title reign to be so short. So we gotta let's move it up a month or whatever. Make him have it just a little bit long. And then, we during this time, the feud with Punk and Drew back and forth, like costing the title and all that, blah, 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 whatever. And then we have, that was, now we're at Money in the Bank, right? It's like, all right, well, we don't, like Seth had some time off. Probably not as long as I expected. We'll have him come back so that Drew has somebody to fight and look good. Like, we're trying to make this big main event guy out of Drew, or Priest, so... What better way to do that than have him win over Seth? It's like, that's great. I'm fine with that. I think the original, like, vision was Jay getting the briefcase, because I feel like that would have been a fun, like, run throughout the year with him with the case.
I feel like he would have had more fun. He would have been more fun with the briefcase.
Exactly. Then Drew got in the match. So then it's like, okay, well, that could kind of go either way. And then, as we get to Money in the Bank, more and more as this feud between him and Punk is building, it's looking like Drew is going to win the case. Right. Given his frustration and everything along with his story, it did not seem like he's going to hold on to that case very long. So we get the Money in the Bank. He wins the case. So at that point, it's like, okay, well, surely that's the night he's going to cash it in. And after Priest is victorious over Seth, Drew McIntyre is going to come out, cash in, and after, putting an end to CM Punk, basically, after that, bloodied assault, Drew is finally going to have his moment. And then we set up Gunther versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, which is a huge match. That's going to be a goddamn banger of a match.
Great fucking match.
But they then decide, this is where my irritation starts. So first off, they decide to have him cash in, but for some dumbass reason, he cashes in during the match instead of after the match.
Why are we turning this into? So keep going because I'm gonna save mine till the end.
As far as this storyline goes with Punk, he's already screwed him out of the title 2 other times. In storyline sense, we gotta think about this as it is a very much possibility that his ass is going to do it a 3rd time, right? That any logical human person would assume, all right, we need to play it safe. We don't need to take any risks here. It's very possible that he's gonna come out and fuck me over again. But no, they have him come out in the middle of the match while it's still going. And then the worst part of that is they fuck up his entrance music cue. So Seth gets a 3 count pin on Priest, which is a whole other thing in itself, because if we were going to set up this match to make Priest look like this big main event guy, why the hell are they having Seth do the pin in the first place? So they get a 3 count, and the music it's very obvious that the music was supposed to hit right before the 3 so that Seth would be shocked and stand up or whatever, but that didn't happen. So Priest lays there, takes the full 3 count. The referee even goes 1, 2, 3 with his hands, and he stands up and then holds up a fucking 2. It's what? Most confused I've ever been in my life. Then 10 seconds later, then the music hits while this match is still going on. And then what happens? Motherfucking Punk comes out there and costs him the title for the 3rd time. And it's I'm down with the story and what's going on. But how many times can we do this? How many goddamn times can we do this? The same fucking thing.
What were we trying to accomplish with this finish? Who does this help?
Priest. Because he won.
Does it?
He won, but he also
Priest?
Looks like a little bitch because he got pinned.
No. Exactly. Who does this fucking help at the end of this fucking finish? Let's go over the end results. Your current champion only got a pin in a impromptu triple threat because somebody had outside interference and hit the dude in the head with a foreign object to put him out so that he could pin. How does that make him look fucking good when he just spent the other time telling the rest of his fucking gang members to stay in the back so that he could pin this clean and not look like a bitch? Hang on,
it's let's do this so he doesn't look like a bitch, but also make him look like a bitch.
Make him look like a complete fucking bitch. Okay, now, how does Drew not look like the dumbest fucking human being in the world?
Yeah, right.
Over and
he
over
looks
again?
like an idiot, especially after Money in the Bank.
He is the dumbest fucking human to have ever existed in any capacity. Anywhere in the history of wrestling. He is the stupidest fucking human being I have ever seen in my entire life. And this proves it right here. To cash in the middle of a match to make it a triple threat so that you can lose 2 different ways, dipshit.
I would have been fine.
How? Plus, you've gotten rid of outside interference being a problem. Now, Seth looks like the unluckiest dipshit in the fucking room.
Yeah.
And he is basically just fucking crippled more than he is physically right now. I swear to God, I'm still trying to figure out how that man is walking.
I know.
Okay. Who are we setting up with what? Because now also, what was the point of Punk at this point? Is he just supposed to look like the biggest fucking asshole in the world in story as well as shoot? Because you're really accomplishing me hating him in story as much as I do shoot.
So this is the 3rd time Punk's interfered. So we've got numerous times you spin this guy, find this person, or whatever. Well, all in storyline, of course. So it's like, he's like, why? Like, shouldn't that be happening to Punk? I mean, it has now after Raw, but like, I feel like that should have happened before now. Like, wouldn't you? Wouldn't in storyline? Wouldn't you be like, all right, this has happened too much. Time to bar so and so from ringside. You know, Priest comes out looking bad because he technically lost the match to Seth, or at least that's what it was supposed to look like. But the way they fucked it up, that's literally what happened. And then
he got pinned on a botch, but also in story, the only reason that he won is because of outside interference. So even if you discount the botch completely, which I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna say, hey, that's a fuck up that wasn't supposed to be part of the story. We're just gonna completely disregard that.
The problem with Priest's character right now is he's technically a heel with the Judgment Day. But
is he anything? Is he a fucking character?
He's technically a heel with the Judgment Day. So it's like, they've been setting up for a while now that he's like this. It's like, even though he's with this heel faction, he's an honorable character, right? He's an honorable character who's trying to do like honorable things. So like every match, it's like, all right, well, we're not gonna have outside interference. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do that. And then we got that going on, and we've got this continual push to him to the main event spot. So then we end up with literally him technically losing the match and winning the impromptu triple threat, because like based off of an unhonorable goddamn thing. Then it gets worse with Raw, because all right, so this whole situation is obviously a setup to have Punk and Seth get involved in something, and that's great. Like, we could make that argument. It's like, okay, well, he technically, I guess, cost Seth from winning the match. And now Seth cannot fight for the title again. It's like, okay,
right.
That makes sense in story. What did they do on Raw? Well, they had a conversation backstage, and Priest's like, you know what? After I get done Gunther, you can challenge for my title anytime you want. So it's like, that just negates the whole fucking thing. Like, that whole thing is negated because of that.
See, I forgot that they did that, because also on top of that, like, what the fuck? Okay, so then what are we doing with what do we do with the Scottish man out of that?
I don't know. He's gonna be on Raw next Monday. I guess we'll find out. I assume at this point now.
What are we doing with Drew? What is the point of Drew? Drew, what? Oh my God!
The problem is,
the point of any of this?
If everything would have went properly, like, we would have had Drew versus SummerSlam, which would have been an infinitely better match.
Versus
no offense to Priest, but Drew versus Gunther would have been like infinitely better match.
No, you know what? I'm done. All offense to Priest. I'm sure he's a nice guy. People say great things about him. You're the blandest fucking character on that entire show, and that's saying a whole lot.
So back to the like very beginning, when I was talking about Priest cashing in like at WrestleMania. It's like they didn't. It felt like they didn't really know what to do, and they kind of just like. That was like
a bad idea.
I think it turned out okay, because like they were obviously gonna have to do something with the case, and to do it there in that situation, I think that ended up working out okay. But
fair enough.
I think originally like they didn't know what to do with Priest. That's why we had this long span of him doing literally goddamn nothing with the case the whole time, right? So we get having all this shit happen at Money in the Bank, Drew winning and cashing in and losing it right there. They took the easy way out. So now they don't have to worry about the booking for the Money in the Bank briefcase the whole rest of the goddamn year. So that's done. So they've taken the easy route with that, which just feels lazy.
You know, I don't even know where I'm going with that. I don't even know.
What it feels like is they wanted as much star power for SummerSlam as possible, so they had to find a way to squeeze Seth Rollins into the pay-per-view. That's what it feels like. So then, after everything that happens in Money in the Bank, we have Priest retain the belt, moving over to SummerSlam, which is the match is already set. Gunther won King of the Ring. Gunther versus Priest. Now, Drew would have been. This is my only thought process on how we got here is, I very much think Gunther is going to win, and they probably did not want Drew to lose to Gunther. Like, after, like, if they wanted Gunther to win, they probably didn't want to give Drew the belt and then have him immediately lose to Gunther. It would have been a less believable scenario than Gunther losing to Priest. That I believe all day, every day. Like that is like 100%.
Okay, I do believe Gunther beating Priest is a pretty good bet. I do kind of like, I don't know, those odds are pretty good.
But again,
I still
we're
feel
in this,
like we're just putting off. So we're just putting off giving a belt to Drew.
Exactly. We're just continually putting that up. And
we're just shoving him off in the back burner because some old man got his arm hurt.
And then another thing that I don't like about this. So like, all right, so again, we're pushing Priest, be a big main event guy. They're just really shoving it in our face. So
please stop. He loses. Please, I don't believe you.
He loses to Gunther. All right. So this match. So Gunther had he had that Intercontinental title run. He won King of the Ring. He had a solid promos after that. He had the crown, all that shit. Where the fuck has he been since that happened? Where the fuck has Gunther been? So we're just gonna have this match, but he hadn't been on TV in fucking over a month. Like,
yeah, do you feel
and then
really
he's gonna win?
About that?
And he's like, realistically, do we think Priest is gonna beat Gunther? Like, Gunther wins, but he also has. There's been nothing. Gunther has had nothing for over a month. I think he showed up to the ring one time for a short ass little thing and then left. So why are we not doing anything with Gunther? Isn't he supposed to be this big, like, force, this like great wrestler? And we're gonna have him win the belt, but not do anything with him to build up to that point? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's wild. I just don't get why we don't see anything. I'm sure there's a reason he's off, but I mean,
because like,
is there really?
I don't know. But so that's my thought process with that. If they're gonna give Gunther the title at SummerSlam, they don't want it to be a short run. Like he'll probably have it for a while, and then a fucking year from now, then that's probably when we'll get Drew versus Gunther at WrestleMania or some shit, and then Drew will get the belt.
I'm gonna say this for both companies because this is gonna be part of a rant. Well, I'm gonna do some other time about this shit. Your people that you're pushing to the top are getting old.
Yeah, if the plan is to have Gunther win the belt, and we've had this like month, 2-month period, or however long it's been, where he's just not done anything. How the fuck, if the plan in the goal is to have Gunther lose to Drew at like WrestleMania or something, if they can't figure out what to do to build Gunther up as this like intimidating force, the 2-month build to SummerSlam, how the fuck are they gonna make that happen over the course of a year? Like, what? Like, they don't have anything for him now. How are they gonna have shit for him for a full year?
I got nothing. I don't know. They showed video. They've showed a video package with chubby Gunther. That might help. I don't know. You tell me if that did anything for you, bud. All this is really stupid. It seems like we're booking ourselves into corners that weren't even necessary.
It just doesn't. None of this feels really like well thought out. And then, And then you've got. I guess it doesn't really affect Raw, but I say that. But next year we'll have Roman Reigns back. We'll have that shit going on. We'll have John Cena back. We'll have shit with him going on.
Do we have to? Well, John Cena, I guess it's a goodbye. I guess I'll get it over with. Rip the fucking Band-Aid. Let's do this.
I saw a thing on Twitter earlier today that was like, after this feud, Liv and Rhea should absolutely be the main event of SummerSlam. And you know what? I fucking agree.
Yeah, absolutely. They absolutely need to be.
What are our other options? We got Priest versus Gunther, and our other option is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. You gonna tell me both of those matches are more main event material than Rhea versus Liv at this point?
Priest versus Gunther might have some potential. Okay. That might be okay.
It might, but I can tell you what won't have potential, and that's Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And you know damn well that match is going to be the main event.
So, do you remember everybody talking about how fucking amazing Solo Sikoa was?
No, I don't remember that ever. The best thing that Solo Sikoa has done is bring eyes to fucking Jacob Fatu. That's the best thing
That's
he's
it.
ever done.
Just let everybody know that one of the other
That's my
Fatus
tribal
is
chief,
better
dude.
than the rest of them. I am totally in fucking weird shit.
Well, that is the rant on the World Heavyweight Championship booking.
You heard it. I guess
You
I
can
don't know.
agree or not. It's your life, I guess.
I don't give a shit.
Everything I say is fact, so
Disagree with us and you're factually
and you're
incorrect.
wrong.
Sucks to suck. So whatever.
Oh, all right. Anyways, if you like the video, be sure to drop a like. Some of you not done so, check out all this shit in the description. Leave a comment, all that stuff. Anyways, we're out.
Yes.
Peace out, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.